Hello, everyone. Hope you're all doing fantastic. Hi, this is Vasant from Cloud Odyssey, a technical lead. As Welcome to our Cloud Odyssey webinar on Salesforce Omnichannel solution for fashion retailers. As this is the first webinar after our World Cup, I would like to start our World Cup. I'd like to start our webinar congratulating the Team India and, in fact, the whole India for winning the T20 World Cup. And in fact, I was also the one who astonished with Suryakumar Yadav's catch. That was awesome. And coming to our webinar part for today, the people who make time today, I'm assuring you that we're going to give you the best. Because as we are doing webinars from the past 1 year on multiple aspects, starting from Salesforce core and also the commerce industry. And in particular, on Salesforce commerce ecosystem also, we have done multiple webinars. It could be on headless commerce, it could be demystifying commerce ecosystem, and we have done it on Salesforce Omni-channel and OMS as well. And this particular webinar has a specialty. Today, we are bringing through three industry experts for giving an industry overview and a perspective on this, especially on this retail industry, about the Salesforce Commerce Cloud in multiple dimensions. So I would like to give you quick agenda, as you people already aware of it, but I still like to give a particular agenda what we're gonna cover in this particular webinar. So we're gonna start with omni-channel experiences and AI insights, followed by the personalization strategies and the mobile excellence. And then we are winding up with omni-channel inventory optimization. For explaining three different aspects, we have three industry experts. Slowly, and I'll also come in between. We'll have a discussion. We'll make it as best as possible. So to start with, we are having Aarti Shankaran with us. Hi, Aarti.
Hi, Vasant. Thank you
How?
for this invite. Very, very excited to be here.
Awesome. Even I'm so. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, recovering.
Good to know that. So, people, the audience, just to give a quick intro about our Aarti. Aarti Shankaran, she's having around 18 years of experience. That too, especially she worked with multiple clients within this commerce, retail, and fashion industry, and helped the brands in their digital transformation journey. At present, she's a principal solution engineer at Salesforce, doing the same thing, helping the brands in their digital journey. So today we have Aarti with us to give us a brief and her expertise on omni-channel experiences and also this particular AI, which is a trending topic at this moment. She's gonna give us her insights and the industry advisors as well. So without any further ado, let me hand over the platform to Aarti. Aarti,
All
over to
right.
you.
Thanks, Vasant. So I'm just going to take 1 second and I'm going to bring up what I intend to present today. I hope you're able to see my screen.
Mm, yes, I can see.
Great. So again, hello everyone, whoever is joining this webinar. I'm very excited to be here and thank you for taking out the time to be part of this webinar. We really hope that today's webinar leaves you with some interesting perspectives and insights. Since today's focus is on omnichannel experience, let's meet Richa. She's a 25-year-old shopper who loves shopping online and is currently looking for some running gear for her upcoming marathon. Now, I'm just going to take you through this very short journey of Richa and what is the kind of typical experience someone like Richa could experience. And to be honest, there are a lot of brands who actually end up, unfortunately, delivering these kind of experiences. So let's talk about what is the experience that Richa goes through and how can we help in Richa getting a better experience. So, like I said, she's preparing for an upcoming marathon. So, she's researching for running gear. So, she comes across an ad of Northern Retail Outfitters for some super comfy ultra runners shorts. She's curious. She decides to visit the page, browses through, adds a pair of shorts and sweat-proof t-shirt, but then just gets a work call and gets distracted, abandoning her purchase there. And I'm sure this is something that we all can relate to. Now, the next day, she realizes that she did not complete buying the shorts and the t shirt and hence comes back to the website. But what she sees is that whatever that she had selected earlier were not saved, because of which she's obviously a little upset. So she goes ahead to the women's category, narrows down to the products that she wanted, and she later realizes that the shorts that she actually wanted to buy are out of stock, but still goes ahead and purchases the shirt and keeps the shorts in her wish list. Now, a couple of days later, she sees the Northern Trail Outfitters store and decides to quickly pick up the shorts she wanted and ask the store assistant if they have these shorts that she was really looking for. She later gets to know that the store actually does not have any visibility into her online transactions, nor do they have details on her wish list items. Obviously, she's a little disappointed by this, but she still goes ahead and gives them the specific details and completes the purchase. Now, the next day, she realizes that there is an issue with her shorts. So she calls up the call center regarding some color damage. The support team had no idea that she had even purchased this and even from which store. They could only see her online purchase history, a partial view of Richa, the customer. She talks to them, she talks through them, tell them what is it that she purchased, from which store she's purchased things before, and what is her issue. While the issue does get resolved, it takes a much longer time for her, leaving a little frustrated with her experience. Now, what you see here, uh, in summary, is that the brand could not create a seamless, connected, omni-channel shopping experience for Richa. Each touch point that Richa engaged with was operating in silos with limited information about what she had done at that particular touch point. And each of the touch point, in fact, treated Richa as a new first-time customer, as they had no unified single view of Richa, the fitness enthusiast looking for running gear. The digital experience had no touch of personalization. Every time she came on the website, it felt like she was starting her journey all over again. And there were no recommendations or intelligent nudges to tell her what else she could buy. When she went to the store, again, they had no visibility and what she had already bought and what probably she was seriously looking for. And in this case, it were the shorts. When she contacted the service team, they again had to ask her the basic questions. Where are you calling from? What is this regarding? And where did you buy this from? And all of that. While Richard did end up buying in this particular journey that I put together, one doesn't get always lucky to have a customer like Richard who ends up purchasing every time, even though there is this fragmented experience. As a brand, through this journey, you see it was all fragmented and disconnected, leading to so many missed opportunities to engage, to personalize, to create that brand advocacy, and even opportunity to increase the wallet share. All this is because each of the touch point that Richa engaged with was operating in silos and lacked that basic foundation of having a unified customer view. Now, while there are a lot of brands still operate in silos, customers are still expecting a lot more. They want to work with companies who understand who they are and what they need. They want companies to engage with them on their terms, on their schedule, and with a seamless experience across every interaction. Whether it's digital, whether it's physical, whether it's at the store, whether I'm redeeming my loyalty point, or even I'm there at an exclusive event arranged by the brand. In fact, 80% of consumers agree that the experience a company provides is as important as the product or service it offers. But delivering a connected, seamless, personalized experience is daunting. Shoppers don't see themselves in the channels they shop in. They may not even know what the phrase omni-channel means, but their behavior demands it of the retailers that they shop with. However, retailers today are struggling to break free of their channel focused silos that get in the way of delivering a seamless, connected experience for their customers. In fact, 65% of customers expect companies to adapt to the changing needs, but only 26% of the IT teams that we've, based on our research, experienced are able to actually support some of these requests from the business, leaving gaps in the customer experience. So to just personalize in the channel that the customer is in no longer enough. For our digital first customers, because they are demanding connected experiences across all channels, they expect that the brand knows them irrespective of how or where or which touch point they're moving to. For example, if a customer is using a self-service portal or chatbot and their issue isn't completely resolved, they will end up calling to the customer service line. But the question is, does that agent have a record of what the customer was trying to do, or is the customer starting from square one, right? If a customer shifts their preferences to a new channel of choice and a retailer is not listening, or even worse, doesn't even have a way of understanding or telling the customer that they hear them, then there is a high risk that the customer might just move on to another brand. And if a customer has an issue, but they would rather talk in person about their order, is the store associate be able to resolve the issue, or is he just going to say that I'm going to open a ticket on your behalf? So as you deliver omni-channel experience, you need to ensure that the technology keeps up and stayed ahead of your customer expectations. And this is exactly the kind of challenges that we at Salesforce have helped some of the leading global and Indian brands solve for. Each of these brands, what you see here, and these are just a representative set of brands, while their priorities were different, ultimately each of them wanted one and only one thing: to stay connected to their consumers through every step of their shopper journey. Now, we work with these marquee logos to solve for different use cases, from streamlining how today they engage with the consumers so that they are not doing batch and blast, to delivering very, very hyper personalized experiences, to helping them transform their commerce experiences, to harnessing the power of the data that they already have and completely change the way they engage with their consumers and in return increase revenue. Ultimately, these brands have not just grown as businesses, but also managed to build better brand advocacy with their customers. And we've helped these brands in building better brand advocacy through the way they understand and engage with them today. And of course, deliver those ultimate experience, making every moment count. Now, making every moment count requires a strong data, AI, and activation strategy. And at Salesforce, we have Data Cloud, which is the foundation for all the three across the entire customer relationship. So the question is, how do you make every moment count across this entire customer journey? And it really comes down to three things: your data strategy, your AI strategy, and then, of course, your activation strategy, which could be your personalization or how you engage. Now, whether you're trying to attract or engage or retain consumers, the first step is to get to know them. And in today's world, this is done through data. And this could start with anonymous data, right from the point when a person sees your ad on Facebook and clicks an ad and browses your website, right? And through each moment of that engagement, you gather more and more information about this person and eventually convert them into a customer. And this is where you start capturing a different kind of data, like their email, phone number, what is it that they've bought in the past, what is it that they've browsed, maybe they've called at the call center with an issue, or even the kind of product availability that they have inquired for at the store. The key is that, are you able to stitch together both your anonymous and your known data so that you have the complete context of each of these customers' journey with your brand, and are able to leverage it to derive the right set of insights and deliver the right kind of personalization? Now, once you've unified all of this data, you can then leverage AI to help you make sense of all of this data and then help make every moment across the customer journey much more impactful and make your team at the same time more productive. So, for example, you could plan your campaigns. This includes things like campaign brief, tactics, identifying the right audiences, even generate content for that matter. And with our latest generative AI innovations, Einstein 1 can help unlock human potential, enabling you to do all of these things with greater efficiency. So while we've got the data part there, let's look at how is generative AI making an impact in the retail space, right? So what you see here is that 17%, and this is a survey that Salesforce does. We call this the Connected Shoppers Report. We do this every year where we talk to a lot of retailers and the shoppers to understand what are the key trends that are happening in the retail space, right? And this is one of the outcomes of those reports, which says that 17% of the shoppers say that at some point in time they've used generative AI to get inspiration for product purchases, right? From a marketing standpoint, we are seeing that 58% of marketers say that they're already producing creative content for marketing assets. And of course, the other three use cases that you see really are focusing on personalized emails, offers, and product descriptions. And then, of course, Gen AI, 92% of the retailers say that they're already investing in more and more to improve shopping experiences. So Salesforce also has been in the AI game for almost 10 plus years. And all these research shows that the wave is moving towards Gen AI, and Salesforce brings in a plethora of AI capabilities for retailers, both on the predictive and generative side, to help them work smarter, more efficiently, and ultimately allowing their shoppers a great customer experience. And some of the capabilities that are there are in no way exhaustive, as there is constant innovation and there is a roadmap. So for example, what I've tried showing here is that each team has its own set of capabilities that they can leverage in or tap into from an AI standpoint to make things better, which directly impacts the consumer experience, right? So for example, from an e-commerce standpoint, if I have to give an example, based on your location, based on your shopper's location, what a shopper has last browsed, what he's purchased, what he's added to the cart, their preferences, you can give very, very personalized recommendation given to the shopper, basis which they can decide on, which products they should buy. You can curate even the keyword so that, for example, if they've bought, blue jeans and now they're looking for matching shirts, when they're typing white, you type the word shirt along with it so that it's automatically suggesting that it's a white shirt that you need to look for, right? On the Gen AI side, imagine you could create and generate a page, entire page using natural language processing, defining the list of products that you would want to see on the main page, the banner you may want to show, maybe a video, an image carousel, and completely transform the page with very little effort. And all of this can be done through clicks, not through codes. And this can also lead to bringing down so much effort from days to just a matter of hours. And the kind of agility it brings along is just amazing, right? There could be things like completely changing your product descriptions that follow Google guidelines to increase more favorability of your products, right? On the marketing side, again, there are so many things that we are bringing to the table. For example, you can build your right audiences or segments using, again, just natural language processing for sending out your latest campaign. Maybe people who are based out of Bangalore with a higher lifetime value but a very high propensity to purchase a new line of clothing. You want to target them, you just type that and you will be able to find that right audience. Leveraging Gen AI to create those right subject lines, even on the service side, right? Helping create those right quick work summaries to help agents summarize the case events in the quickest possible time, right? Giving them the right set of answers while they are talking to their customers in context of whatever is happening, right? These are the kind of capabilities that Salesforce is bringing in. And these are, like I said, is just a small set of examples that I've given, but there is a huge roadmap. So what I've just done is briefly touched upon the data and AI part of it and how Salesforce can help a lot of brands out there in building those omni-channel experiences. But I think ultimately all of this is used to activate or personalize experiences. And I'm sure, Vasant, you have that aspect covered well with our other speakers for today. So over to you, Vasant.
Absolutely, Aarti. And that was awesome. Like you started with omnichannel experiences, and actually, a couple of questions running in my mind, but I just don't want to interrupt you in the flow. But I would like to take two questions, even from the comments, whatever I'm receiving it now. So,
Sure.
first of all, as we covered two different entities here, like the data and also the AI. Suppose,
Correct.
let me ask with this data, as a particular
Yeah.
retailer, Data is my main concern. Like, what are the data I'm capturing it from my customers? I want it to be as secure as possible.
Yep.
So first of all, the Salesforce system, how secure is my data in it, or is it going into public domain by any chance?
No, no. So our AI platform is delivered with a collection of safety guardrails that we call the Einstein trust layer. So people who don't know, Einstein is our our AI engine in Salesforce parlance, right? And trust is our number one value. So you know Einstein One platform is Einstein, the AI engine. Einstein is trusted AI grounded in your unified data and deployed in the flow of work. So, whatever that is happening, it's happening within a trusted ecosystem. Nothing leaves the Salesforce ecosystem, and everything is guarded and secured. So, I don't think you need to think about or worry about any kind of breach of data or breach of trust. Everything is very, very well managed.
Got it. This is like a, as a retailer perspective, like the basic, I mean, the common question and also the serious concern from all of us. Thank
Yes,
you so much for
absolutely.
thank you for clarifying that. And with respect to AI, yes, right now the whole trending aspect in the market, and starting from not only the retailer, we don't need to dilute it to retailers. For every industry, this is what. And when you are showcasing it, when you're talking about AI, I've seen multiple numbers as well. The Salesforce research, what Salesforce has done, the research.
Yeah, yeah,
Suppose I just want to I just want to know from you one particular use case where, in particular feature, this AI has increased the business. Especially, this is to enhance the business engine, right? Maybe as it directly or indirectly. Maybe would you like to share one such experience where this AI from the commerce ecosystem is enhancing their
yeah.
business?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a global retailer. I don't want to take names here, but we have a global fashion retailer with the power of AI, with the personalization capabilities and the product descriptions that we were just talking about. We have actually been able to uplift their GMV by more than 7.5%, right? So there are a lot of use cases. There are a lot of capabilities that we've managed to kind of build in. And it's not just on the commerce side. Like I said, on the commerce side, we have a couple of capabilities on quickly designing the page, coming up with personalized recommendations, changing the product descriptions. But I think it all works in tandem. It's not just AI, but both the AI data and the whole commerce piece, which works together to kind of create that kind of an impact.
Okay, got it. And that's to go good to know that number, like how it increases their business. Thank you so much for that.
Great.
So, and thank you so much, Aarti, for the
Sure.
beautiful insights on this particular omnichannel experiences and AI. And
Thank
yes,
you.
yes, and as you asked for, just let us get into the second topic, and the audience, for your understanding, let us get into the second section of our particular webinar, where we're going to talk about the personalization strategies and the mobile excellence. To talk about this, we have another veteran to our today's webinar, who is none other than Maurizio Stella with us today. Hey, hi Maurizio,
Hi.
how are you doing?
Yeah, good. Great.
Okay, how's the weather today there?
Rainy. It's London, so it's always rainy.
Maybe for surprising, today it is same here in India as well.
Oh, for once. Normally you have the sunny weather. At least I don't
Correct.
feel as lonely.
Yes, we are in the same line. So, audience, just to give a brief about Maurizio. Maurizio is having around 20 years of experience, and mostly he worked with the retail and consumer goods industry, and especially worked with multiple fashion retailers and also the commerce system. He himself wrote a book on this, the money making e-commerce solution. And at present, he is working as a VP retails at Cloud ODC for the EMEA region. So today we have Maurizio with us to give a perspective or multiple dimensions about this particular area of personalization strategies. What is it about, and where this particular feature is helpful for the fashion and the retailers in the ecosystem. So
Mhm.
without further ado, I would like to hand over it to you, Maurizio.
Yeah, sure. I only have very few slides, and I'm not going to take much time here, but I think what's important to understand is what it means to work on hyper-personalized experiences, right? So we often see cases where personalization, in fact, I'm just going to switch slides. So we see that often companies are investing in delivering personalization features rather than personalized experiences. And what I mean by this is that imagine the case that you receive an email, okay, and the email says, "Hello, I don't know, Vasant," right? So that's personalization. Happy birthday, by the way. We know that it's your birthday, and therefore we wanted to show you a product that you're absolutely not interested in at a price that you cannot afford with a discount levels that you couldn't care about. So that is personalization as well, but it hasn't personalized the experience. In fact, it's actually given a worse experience than what you would do with a generic kind of message, right? And the same thing is applied in stores. Imagine going into a store and they say, "Oh, we know you by name, surname, we know where you live and how many kids you have, but we have no idea of what you have in your basket," like Artie was saying before, right? So we don't really know how to make this experience better with you. And what we need to understand is that these experiences transcend the digital world. So it's how I feel in relation to the brand that needs to be personalized. It's my journey as a customer with your brand that needs to be personalized, right? So I think there is a big distinction to make between personalization features and personalized experience. It's two worlds apart. So also often we hear about personalization in the context of increasing sales, but it's also about selling better and making more money. Essentially, you can do that in various ways, of which increasing the GMV or increasing transactions is only one of them. So I wanted today to talk about how, let's say, rethinking personalization in the context of what can we do with data coming from different sources, what can we do when we're leveraging AI, and just trigger some thoughts about looking beyond the usual product recommendation process, essentially. So here's a couple of examples. The first one is like increasing margins. At the moment, in most cases, merchants use a product recommendation tool, which is leveraging the information that you have in your CRM or within the e-commerce platform. So it looks at what you've been doing on the website and recommends what potentially is more likely to sell. But if you connect that with your ERP system to understand the cost of your items as well and the price at which you sell them, you now know your margins. So if you connect that with the behavioral patterns that you know from the user, you can now say, "Hey, yes, I can recommend these 4 products, but this one is the product where I have the highest margin. So I want to prioritize that because I can make more money. Or on that item, I could offer a higher level of discount so that they're more likely to buy the product," right? And again, if you know your customers well, you also know at what discount level they're willing to buy. So now it becomes a one-to-one experience for every single customer. That increases your overall income because you have knowledge of your margins as well. And another option here is like to increase engagement. One thing is saying we noticed that you bought a pair of shorts and now we are going to personalize the store with shorts everywhere. It's like saying, "I bought a sofa, now I'm going to sell you another sofa because you bought one, so you're very likely to like another sofa." It doesn't work that way. So the idea is that if we manage to leverage AI and the information that we have in a different way, we can start saying, "Okay, this person has bought, I don't know, 2 shorts, a t-shirt, etc., and running shoes for track running." So we're starting to understand the context in which they're looking for products. So now we can prioritize content like blog posts or even products in relation to the contextual scenario, not in relation to the product itself that they have been looking at. So that makes it all more interesting for them, because now they're browsing a website that talks about what they like to do, not the product they like to buy. It's different. Another thing is in store. So to increase the footfall. So we talk about, we mentioned about mobile excellence, and I'm afraid today we don't have 5 hours to talk about all these things, but let's use this as triggering thoughts and considerations, right? So you have a mobile phone, you have your GPS locations, you know your inventory, right? You know where the inventory sits, and you know that this person has an item left in its basket or in its wish list, etc. You also know that that person normally purchases with 5% discount, and normally they don't purchase items above, I don't know, $20. So now you can put all that information together, and with that information you can essentially make a recommendation which is more tailored to their need. And you can say, hey, there is a store which has that specific item in stock. Here is a 5% discount for you. It's only 100 meters around the corner, and by the way, if you press this button, I'm going to show you the route to get to that store, right? So now you're increasing footfall. But once you increase footfall as well, what else can you personalize? You can look at how to you can allow people to scan QR codes. You can allow people to perform different actions within the store, and potentially either purchase online so that they don't even have to wait at the till if there is a queue, or you can ask assistants. Those are all connected experiences which we consider omni-channel, because omni-channel is not just about selling through different channels. It's about generating experiences and engagement through all opportunities that you have, right? So whether that is dialogue, making it a more meaningful dialogue or not, but ultimately that's what we're trying to achieve. And these are some of the data points I would like to people to think about, right? So like where the product is located. If you know that through your omnichannel inventory, which is a very, 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 very important topic, because you can do omnichannel, but there are two things that you need to know when you do omnichannel: your product, where it sits, and how much of it you have available, and then your customer, so that you can map those things one after the other, to the other. The other thing that you want to know is excess inventory. So, for example, if you have excess inventory of an item, and you see that there is a person who is likely to want to buy that product, and you have that inventory in the store, why wouldn't you prioritize that item to ship from store instead of shipping it from the central warehouse where you have inventory in excess anyway? So that is these dynamics can be done through order management system and so on. But again, you need to have the knowledge of the location of the items as well. Margins we already mentioned, and then chatbot and calls. At the moment, with Salesforce, for example, we're able to collect all the information and record it within the customer's profile. But the AI is actually able to interpret those chats and those conversations, recorded conversations, to understand the context and the meaning of those conversations, not just looking at a keyword, which is a product name. So now we can use that information to personalize the on-site experience. Or when next time when they go into the store, there may be a button for the store associate saying, give me a brief of the history of this client, so that they can have a better conversation. Then we have user location, of course, for not GPS tracking of the person, but if I see, like on a mobile app, that person is close to a store, let's find a way to engage with that person and bring him into the store. And loyalty scheme as well. Sometimes it's interesting also for pricing. So, for example, if you're trying to sell them an item which is 20% more expensive than what they would normally spend, maybe you can remind them that they have 1,000 points to redeem that they can use towards their purchase experience, right? Because ultimately you want them to redeem their points. So there are many things that you can enable in that sense. And finally, very quickly, tailoring the experience doesn't. When you're talking about omnichannel, you need to think of all the touch points, right? So you need to think of how you're going to personalize the experience and why on the e-commerce and apps, why through customer service, what's the importance and what's the aim of that, why is it important to do so, and across the other channels as well. And finally, when you look at the individual channels, my point being is that you need to look at how you're going to do that personalization at each stage of the customer life cycle. So when they're browsing, yes. When they're validating to understand whether it's the right company, right product to buy, when they're purchasing, when they're receiving, when they're returning the item, it's all part of the experience. So you really have to think about personalizing over time. So with intention to improve those individual parts of their journey. And the way I would like to close, I think I'm running out of time anyway. So the way I would like to close is to say that personalization needs to be done right. So you need to start with the low-hanging fruits and scale gradually. And to me, the first thing that you need to work on when it comes to personalization are two elements. One is the knowledge of the customer, and the other one is the omni-channel inventory, is having a real understanding of how you're able to leverage and orchestrate those orders and understand how to leverage the products that you physically have in stock. So that's for me a brief 10-minute overview of what I think about personalization in the context of omnichannel.
Thank you so much, Mariso, for giving this brief about this omnichannel. I have a set of questions, and before that, I would like to take a question. In fact, there are questions from audience too. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
attendees first. There is a question from Neha Sharma. It's like, for store suggestions on app, do we have to gain insights on app for location every single second, or do we work on most shipper locations? I'll yeah.
It depends how you want to do the personalization, what it is that you're looking to personalize. Because recommendations could be that you may not have any knowledge of that customer; they may just have downloaded the app, right? So in that case, you're not leveraging abandoned baskets, you're not leveraging any of that knowledge. So sometimes proximity, no, you don't need every second. Ultimately, you want the person to be walking. You don't want the person to be driving by a store with a car at 100 miles an hour, right? So I think that a periodic check from the app uh, is all that is required. And when you get into a proximity to a certain area, for example, you know that they are inside a shopping mall, that is enough to then say, hey, why don't you come and see us? Today we have a 5% discount for our app users. So many of these things can be done, or you can do it. You can trigger inside the store itself. There are ways of doing that as well. So in that case, you may say, "Hey, welcome to our store. By the way, did you know that you can scan our products and see our omni-channel inventory and see what we have in stock in all our stores and online?" So that if you were looking for the yellow dress but you only found it in blue in the right size that you have, you can still go there and complete your transaction. Or again, welcome to the store. If there is too much queue today, why don't you just purchase online and we'll send it out home for you with an additional 2% discount. Does that make
Got
sense?
Yes, 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 it is. And hope, Neha, you also got an idea about it. And still, if you have a follow-up question with it, I request you to keep it in the chat. I'll ask Mauricio at the end of the webinar. And Mauricio, before going to the next topic, I have even one more question. Just even you spoke about the personal experiences, the personalization, right? Why don't you,
Mhm.
can you give one live or a practical example where it has been implemented or where it helpful for the retailers?
Sure. Again, without going into the names of the retailers, etc., I can think there's a store that I like in Italy. I'm Italian, right? So there's a brand in Italy that has one thing in store that I think is really cool in terms of personalization, because it keeps the engagement really high. So you can go in and select your clothes, and then you can go in the changing room, and there is a thing called Magic Mirror. So the Magic Mirror essentially allows you to see the dress, the clothes that you're wearing, and then with a click of a button on the mirror itself, it allows you to switch the different to different products, right? And when you find the product that you like, you can just press a button, and the store associate will bring you the clothes in the changing room, right? They will hand you the clothes directly, so you don't have to go out. And if you want, you can also do another thing. You can essentially take pictures of yourself after you scan the QR code, so nobody's looking when you're getting changed. But you can then post that directly to social media. So you can give authorization to post to social media with the new wearables. So they're actually doing changing rooms, which are more like selfie studios. And it's a way to personalize the experience for influencers. And it was a way for them to also reduce the amount of returns they were getting, because actually it's easier for them to offer an experience to take pictures and share on social media than having people ordering 2 dresses at home or multiple dresses at home, taking pictures, posting them on Instagram, and then returning them to store. So again, it's a way to personalizing the experience means understanding and taking care of the needs of the people that buy from you. It's not just about saying, hello, Maurizio, here's a 5% discount for you, or we notice you purchased a sofa and here's a pillow.
Got it. Thank you so much, Mauricio. And in fact,
Yeah,
in
you're
that
welcome.
example, oh, I just want to understand, is it also, I mean, what are the personalization we are bringing it? Is it also in compliance with the policies? Like, is it retailer policies, or you could say personal human compliances, you could say?
Has to be. So if you're looking at, like, different countries have different rules, different laws, different guidelines, and so on. So the beauty of having a solution as mature as Salesforce, for example, is that a lot of that is being taken into consideration, and there are options already there in the system to navigate these things, right? I mean, you can even talk about I don't know, Hyperforce, where, like, physically where your data sits and resides in which country, right? You can decide where this information needs to be hosted, and but still have a centralized view of it all. So in personalizing those experiences, yes, you have to think of the legal compliance. Of course, you can't make a magic mirror and post on Instagram pictures of you getting changed without the approval of the person, right? And of course, you don't want the person to be taking pictures of themselves getting changed and publishing it on social media without your authorization as a brand for brand compliancy. So those things have to be taken into account, and unfortunately, often they're not, because we many brands don't actually take all those things into consideration. So my encouragement is to keep talking with other retailers as well. Don't just think within your bubble. Network and speak with others to see what they're doing from different industries, get inspiration. These webinars are fantastic because we often raise questions that we get questions from the audience that maybe they won't ask directly. It's easier to ask questions when nobody knows who you are, right? So yeah, so just keep networking and keep listening and checking what other people are doing. That's really useful.
Definitely, yes. Because the reason I raised this question is, in fact, I had that personal experience. I don't want to again name that brand because they don't allow us to take pictures with their brand unless you purchased it.
Right.
Because this is their company policy. Whatever you do, you want to try 10 different pieces, it's up to you. But
Yeah.
they don't allow you to take pictures because
I
that is
I'm No, I understand. So I have a personal opinion about that in general. There is um, forcing people not to do things when normally when there is a desire of people to do things, there's probably an opportunity there. So rather than going against the wishes of the audience, let's say, try to think of whether there is an opportunity to capitalize on it.
yes, got it. Anyway, I always love to have a discussion with you, Monizo. So I'm exactly skipping the time and having a conversation with you.
So
Again, let me stick back to the topic, and then we have one more section uh, where we're gonna discuss about this continuation of what you have briefed about,
the
and we're gonna
omnichannel
talk about,
inventory.
yeah, and we're gonna talk about the omni-channel inventory optimization. Audience, just for your information, just we have as the third veteran from the commerce ecosystem to give us more insights about this omni-channel inventory optimization, how best we can utilize this omni-channel inventory, and what is it about. We have Yugandhar Talapaneni with us.
Hi Vasant.
Hi, Yugandhar. How are you doing?
Yeah, doing great. Thanks.
Aren't you excited?
Yeah. So a lot of knowledge.
Of course, because Aarti and Morizo already give
Yeah,
a brief and then set up the expectation, and we just want you to how you mingled your topic with that, so that we'll get a proper buffet for the
sure.
audience.
I will definitely
So,
try.
yeah, thank you. And audience, just for your information, just Yugandhar Talapneni is having more than a decade experience, that too in the Salesforce commerce ecosystem, and he architected multiple enterprise level projects, and I could say multiple names. As in the compliance, I'm not revealing it. And he is there in the he has done multiple webinars, and he has students within the ecosystem and outer as well. And at present, he is working as a technical architect at Cloud ODC for commerce. So, commerce, sorry, Yugandhar, it's over to you.
Sure. Just give me a second. Let me share my screen.
Sure, sure. Take your time. So meanwhile, audience, I suggest you people to keep your questions in the comments so that I can ask the panel at the end. Yeah. Thank you. And over to you, Yuganda.
Sure. Hope you can see my screen.
Yes, we can.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you everyone for joining this webinar. So let us continue with the topic inventory optimization. So we often see customers are facing challenges when it comes to the inventory. One major challenge is with enabling the omni-channel. So enabling the omni-channel will help the clients to make sure the items are fulfilled using their network of stores instead of warehouse fulfilling the orders every time. And the second challenge is uh, clients would love to see the unified view of inventory across all the locations. So if I say locations, those locations can be stores or warehouses. So if you do a lookup by the product ID, you should have a screen where you can see the inventory available for that particular item across all the locations. So having this information will be helpful to keep the stock, um, the right stock at the right time and in the right location as well. So using the Salesforce, let us see how we can come out of these two major challenges very quickly. And if you can see my screen, there are different systems orchestrated. So let us go from bottom to top. So if you look at it at the bottom, we have the source of the inventory. It can be the WMS, it can be the ERP, it can be a store, POS, things of that nature. And whenever there is a change in the inventory, it will update that inventory to the omni-channel inventory, which is highlighted in the orange color, right? And the omni-channel inventory is a product by Salesforce, and this is the inventory solution within the Salesforce ecosystem. And this will give us a unified view of inventory. So meaning as a customer, you can go and look up the item by using the product ID, and that will give you the entire inventory availability of that item in single screen. Okay, so this product is available in these stores and in these warehouses, and also it will help you to aggregate the inventory, meaning this is the total inventory available and this is the total inventory reserved in these many locations, things of that nature. And if you look at it, there are two systems at the top. One is the Salesforce Commerce Cloud, and that is the B2C commerce platform within the within the Salesforce. And then we have the order management system. And omni-channel inventory, the Salesforce Commerce Cloud, and order management, these three systems are interconnected. So once the inventory is updated by the source, inventory sources in the omni-channel inventory, that information will be automatically available for the Salesforce Commerce Cloud, the e-commerce platform, and also for the OMS. So once the order is placed in the e-commerce platform, the inventory for that item will get reserved in the omni-channel inventory. So this will make sure we are customers are not doing, I mean, clients are not doing the oversell, and also whoever places the order, they will get the item delivered for sure. And once the order is placed in the Salesforce Commerce Cloud, that order will be moved to the order management system, and order management system will fulfill the order. And once the order is fulfilled, it will again interact with the omni-channel inventory, and it will fulfill the reservation and decrement the quantity in the omni-channel inventory. So if you look at it, omni-channel inventory, Salesforce Commerce Cloud, and order management system, all three products are under the Salesforce itself, and they can be integrated very easily just with few clicks. And there are few terminologies that we need to understand within the omni-channel inventory, mainly the location and a location group. When you look at the location, a location is the place where a client is having some stock availability. So it can be a store, it can be a warehouse. So that we name as a location. And a location group is basically a set of locations belongs to a brand or belongs to you know a company, or those are the locations within the country or within a region. So we can group certain locations so that it will aggregate the inventory of the individual locations. So I will try to explain that with a small example in our next slide. And a location group assignment is the relationship between a location and a location group. So just to reiterate, a location is a store or a warehouse, and a location group is set of locations. So if we look at this, there is US store 1 and warehouse 1. So these two are the locations. So we have a store and we have a warehouse 1. So these two are the locations. These two will be assigned to a location group, which will aggregate the inventory. See, for example, under a US store 1, we have on hand total as 20. And under the warehouse 1, we have on hand total as 35. So 20 plus 35, 55, and that is what the on hand total of the location group, that is US storefront, that you see at the top. So here we have two storefronts, US storefront. If you place an order in the US website, and those products will be fulfilled by US store 1 and or warehouse 1. And if you place an order in Canada storefront, those will be fulfilled by either warehouse 1 or warehouse 2. But if you look at it, there is a CS store 1 as well, but it is not connected with any of the websites here. The reason for that is the CS store 1 is eligible only for the store pickup, but it cannot actually do the fulfillment. So that is the reason it is not connected with any of the websites here.
And
Now, yeah,
Yugandhar,
go
just
ahead.
I mean, sorry to interrupt you. Just I have a question
Sure,
running over there.
sure.
So suppose maybe in that previous slide, no, what if
Mhm.
an order gets, suppose I ordered something in the channel, I ordered something from the portal, and in
Mhm.
considering like US, you're saying the warehouses are in connect, like it will take up the sync, right? So I
Yeah, yeah.
ordered something, I ordered some trim or something. In considering their existing location or a warehouse, they did it. I mean, I
Okay,
order has been accepted, and after that, they don't have a product. Suppose it's something has happened in the warehouse, something has happened. At
okay,
this moment, what normally happens?
okay. So, so just to reiterate your question, so what if the warehouse or the store cannot fulfill
Hmm.
the order, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So what happens in this case is, um, you know, it's all about routing. So once you place an order in the e-commerce website, that order will be assigned to the warehouses or the stores that we will see in next slide anyways.
Hmm.
Those are that order will be assigned to the warehouse or the stores, or it can be splitted, and some items will be fulfilled by the warehouse, some items will be fulfilled by the store, things of that nature. For any reason, if store cannot fulfill the order that it has received, then what they can do is they can reject that order, saying we cannot fulfill that order for so and so reason. Then what Salesforce will do is it will take that order, that fulfillment order, and it will try to reroute that order to some other store, okay,
Okay.
where the stock is available. So at any cost, unless if this item is not available in any of the stores, the order will not be cancelled. It will automatically route the order to some other store, which can do the fulfillment. But
Okay.
when it is doing the rerouting of the order, it will not consider the stores which previously rejected the same order. Okay,
Okay.
so in that way, there will not be any duplications of rejections, right? So because if it assigns to the same store again it may reject the order, right? So while
Correct.
rerouting, it will not assign to the same store. It will not even consider the store which rejected it. It will try to assign to some other store.
But
Yeah.
does
So
it impact the retailer or a business with respect to monetary things or the logistics? Won't impact?
see, all that happens within fraction of minutes, right? So store is not going to take days together to reject the order, right? So within few minutes they will accept or reject the order, so based on the business rules set by the clients, and within few minutes the routing also happens to some other store.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry to
Yeah,
interrupt you. Just I had this question.
no issues.
Yeah.
Okay. And to continue with your question here,
Mhm.
you know, there is a concept called distributed order management within Salesforce. If you look at it, let us say I have placed an order with 4 items. Okay, and those 4 items, when it goes to the OMS, it will check with the omni-channel if these 4 items can be fulfilled by single location. That location can be either a warehouse or a store. So all those 4 items can be fulfilled by single location or not. If it can be fulfilled, let us say all 4 items are available in the single store, then that store will fulfill all the 4 items. Just in case, let us say only one item is available in that location and remaining 3 items are not available in that location. Then it will check if it can be fulfilled by 2 locations with one split. So the entire order will be splitted, like one order to location, I mean one item by location one and remaining 3 items by location two. So now what happens if these 2 locations can fulfill the order, then location one and location two will accept those orders and they will fulfill that. If even that is not possible with 2 splits, then one split, then it will go to 2 splits. In case of 2 splits, it will check with 3 different locations who can fulfill this order. Just in case if 3 locations also cannot fulfill this order, then it will stop the routing logic and it will send an email to the person whoever manages this routing and ask them to do the manual routing. However, if clients prefer to do more than 2, 3, 4, 5, it is absolutely possible. It is just a configuration. So most of our clients goes with 2, but it is up to the client how many splits they want to go with. If you look at it, it is not just the splits. Okay, so with minimum number of splits, what we are achieving, we are trying to reduce the shipping cost for the customer, for the clients, right? So for example, if 4 items, if we assign to 4 different locations, then there are 4 different couriers, right? So which will increase the shipping cost. So we start with one, goes till until the customer is okay with, right? So in this example, we are going with 2 splits. And number two, we are not assigning this order only to the warehouse. It is all about where the inventory is available. So we are using the entire network of the clients to fulfill the order. It's not just the warehouse. Using this, what we are actually doing here, if we rely on warehouse to ship the items to in every single corner of the region or corner of the country, the shipping cost will be heavy and it will leads to the delayed deliveries and of course delayed returns as well. But if we can use the network of stores to fulfill the order, and if we can choose those stores based on the locations which are near to the customer shipping address, then they can receive the orders in a much faster way, and also it will help the clients to reduce the shipping cost a lot. So there are multiple things based on which this routing logic works. One is with minimal splits, and the second one is with the location which is near to the customer, and the third one is based on the store priorities also. For example, one warehouse may take highest priority than the store. Based on the store priorities also, it will do the routing, and also based on the store capacity. For example, there is a very small store which cannot handle more than 100 orders per day, right? Then we can also configure, okay, this is the capacity of this store. Once that 100 limit is reached, then automatically that store will not be considered for rest of the day for the routing logic. So based on this, the routing logic works, which will use the entire network of the clients and reduce the shipping cost and fulfill the orders also in a much faster way, and which will in turn reduce the which will in turn increase the customer satisfaction levels. And apart from this, it is also very important for the customers to maintain the right stock at the right location and at the right time. So the unify, as I mentioned, the unified view within the omni-channel inventory application will give us the overall view of the overall real-time stock levels of any particular item at any given point in time. And also the Salesforce reports and predictive analytics can also help the clients to understand the demand forecasting, and also how, for example, if you take one product and what is the trend, how many people are buying, and whether the demand for this particular product is increasing or not. So Salesforce can help with those analytics as well. So this is a very short brief about the omni-channel inventory. uh, yeah, over to you, Vasant.
Thank you so much, Yugandhar. Now I got an idea, like behind the order, what is happening? Because as
Yeah,
I knew, okay, placing an order and getting an item, but behind that, how
so
much thing is happening? Yeah,
yeah, so everything that happens the moment we click on place order till we receive the order to our doorstep, and even after that the returns, right? So all that happens behind the scenes. So whatever the systems I just showed, order management system plus omni-channel inventory, so those two take care of all these backend operations.
awesome, awesome. In fact, that make me surprised. See, all these calculations are happening, and it is showing me the pricing itself. It's like even delivery charges are there, right? It may be
Yeah,
there is
yeah,
an impact of delivery charges of this all these locations.
of
So it
course
is
it, it,
doing
it,
all
it
this.
will upfront, yes, it will upfront calculate all this, and it will show you that information for you.
Perfect, perfect. Awesome. Thank you so much for this beautiful insights on this distributed order management system and the omni-channel inventory as well. Now,
Yeah,
thank you so
thank you.
much, Yugandhar. Now, audience, have you felt about the session? In fact, I was in the same perspective. We started it with omni-channel experiences, artificial intelligence, the personalization strategies, and then we came to the order. As like it's like a beautiful cart experience. I'll go with one recommendation, starting with that product, adding it to cart, and then getting into the experience I've seen it, and then placing an order. Our three architects just briefed that particular journey as I felt it. So, as three of you are on stage, just I would like to wind up the session with a one takeaway from each of you. It's like, suppose, as a fashion retailer from this particular webinar or from the commerce ecosystem, what is that one takeaway from each one in you about this? We'll start with Ardi.
Okay, so I'll go first. I think I emphasized a lot on data, and I think I'll still emphasize again on a lot of data that, data becomes the foundation for everything that you do. And what I've seen is that a lot of retailers feel that they don't have enough data, especially, fashion retailers feel that what they have probably is just a phone number that they're able to collect, right? And there's not much that they can do with it. The idea is that you start somewhere and leverage the data that you have today to build more data, right? To do progressive profiling, reach out through other channels, capture more information, and then build on all the other intents and information that you're getting through different touch points, and building that. So for me, I think even if you have little bit of data, you start somewhere, start small, but it's the right way to go.
Nice. Thank you so much, Ardi. I'll pass it to Marizo.
Yeah, very, very briefly. For me, everything is always about foundations. So, and in fact, 80% of the revenue from any company comes from the foundational layer, getting the best practices right. So there are two elements to this when it comes to omnichannel operations and personalization. It's the customer knowledge, so collect information properly, and omnichannel inventory, because the omni-channel visibility of where your stock is and how to make best use of it will also increase your margins if you make correct use of it. So that is the two really important parts. Now, when you have these parts to a good level, then you need to look at which is the journeys, which are the journeys that touch the highest amount of people, and what is the simplest personalization experience that I can offer to that flow, right? So start there, because that is going to give a little bit of value in an easy way to a lot of people. So once you got that right, you move on to the next little bit and you carry on expanding. But omni-channel operations and personalization are not a project; they're an ongoing journey. It's endless. And the more we get AI into the picture, the more things we'll be able to do. But you need to start small and do things that AI cannot do, and is personalize the experience and know where the products are if you don't know. So you need to have these things right. Customer knowledge and omnichannel visibility of your inventory live.
That's awesome. Customer knowledge and omnichannel inventory. That's informative.
Mm.
Okay, let me pass the gavel to Yuganda.
Yeah.
What do you?
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So, with the omnichannel inventory, our clients will get the unified view of real-time inventory, and also with reports and dashboards, the customers can take informed decisions because it can give you the trend, the sales trend, and also it can help you with the forecasting. And when it comes to the omni-channel inventory, especially the ship from store instead of just shipping the products from the warehouses, because it helps with multiple aspects. So it helps to reduce the shipping cost, and it helps to improve the overall customer satisfaction because they will be getting the products very quickly, and they'll be using effectively using the network of stores to fulfill the orders. So maybe instead of adding all the stores in single go, start with one your existing warehouse plus few stores and see how it goes, and gradually multiply these stores, so that at some point in time in the future you will be using your entire network of stores to fulfill the orders every corner of the country.
Great. Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much, people. In fact, you three made us the day. Uh, like this is a beautiful journey, starting from the commerce, right? Starting from the first point to the last dot. Every single dot you connected with different segments. Thank you so much for that. And yes, we are on time and a little exceeded as well, but that's totally fine, I believe. Audience, like whoever has any questions or you have some in-person questions also, we would like to answer it. Please share your feedback and also put your questions to Cloud Odyssey, or you can email us. We will get back to the answers. The whole motto of this webinar is for the ecosystem to know about this commerce cloud and how beautiful it is, how easy for people to absorb it and access the platform. And also the particular features are people mentioned, starting from AI, data, distributed management system, everything. And if you people feel, I mean, for any of the retailers who are attending the webinar, I believe so, having any personal questions, please let us know. We can have a connect.
And
With
connect on
that,
LinkedIn.
yes, as Marisa mentioned, yes, you have their names, just ping it in LinkedIn and have a personal connect with them. So with that, I would like to thank our architects for the beautiful insights on the entire ecosystem. Thank you so much, three of you.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank
See you next
Yes,
time.
thank you for having us. Thank
Definitely,
you.
definitely. So with that, audience, thank you so much for joining in and addressing the whole webinar. With that, I would like to conclude and